Hello, everyone. Hey, Lola, how are you? Sure. Hey, Nicole, how's it going? How's everybody tonight? Monday. We're going to talk about meditation and spiritual development. So, how's everybody? Where are you joining us from? How's everything going? We're on YouTube and TikTok. So, just give a few minutes here for everybody to get in. How's it going, Nicole? You working today? You're at a sauna right now. Ooh, that sounds nice. Doing some sweating, sweat lodging. You do something with work all week. How's work going? Money, money, money. Maybe you'll change meditation Monday to money Monday. So I'm just clearing the energies. You got to get the town energy off you. Sounds good. All right, so today we're just going to talk about meditation and spiritual development, and I'm going to do a candle blessing for us. I've been getting a lot of requests this week for different types of prayers, and we just intensified our energies. Last time we talked about the Toltec New Year, and now we're in the spring equinox. We're in a whole new year, a whole new season. And the energy has shifted dramatically. I don't know if everybody's feeling that, but there's been a lot of things that are shifting in our energies. And I wanted to talk about opening your road. And so on Meditation Monday, we've been talking about practices that you can do to help you, starting with the 1 minute of silence, morning, noon, and night. And then we talked about cleansing meditations. We talked about protection. We've talked about affirmations before bedtime, like shifting your consciousness. And today I wanted to talk about how you use meditation for spiritual development. But another theme that was coming up today was around using meditation to overcome fear and to step into courage. Oh, good. Hello, Gillespie. Yeah, the little baby that was sick, and there were a lot of other stuff too. I don't know, a lot of people have been having some health problems, and I feel like it comes with the shift of season because there's a lot of purging happening. There's a purification happening. The weather goes from hot to cold, cold to hot, all that good stuff. But one of the themes that's going to come up a lot this year is the theme of changing direction, changing roads, changing careers, changing partners, changing health status, like change of some sort. And one of the things that people always say when they're right in the middle of change is, I'm not ready, right? That's a common theme. And really, when you say, I'm not ready, what you're really saying is, I'm scared. So think about it. Like, where are you in your life? Is change calling your name? And are you ready? Because this is something that calls you and starts knocking on your door. And regardless of you're ready or not, change is coming. Change is calling. Change is singing our name. And one of the things that we can do in meditation to help us when change is calling our name is to practice overcoming the fear around change. So who in this chat who's joining us now feels like change is calling their name? This is a whole session. Yeah, it is. Yeah, just text me. But seriously, that's what this whole season is about. That's what this whole time is about. It's about change. Probably should have, yeah. See, Amanda got her hand up. Carlita's got her hand up. Everybody's got their hand up, right? That's why you're here. It's change. So the other day I was doing a session with a woman, and she thought it was going to be about her son, but in fact, it was about her and change. And it kind of got me like thinking. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, change. Sylvia on YouTube's going through change. We're all going through a change, right? Because it's equinox. We've passed through the gateway. We're in the new year. We're like in it, right? And so where you're feeling the most uncomfortable is where change is calling you. So right now, I want you to think about it. What is it that's the most uncomfortable for you right now? Is it your job? Is it your health? Is it your relationship? Is it all of it? Is it your finances? Is it, where you live? It could be a lot of different things, okay? All of the above, right? Well, that's very common. Most people, when I start saying, where's change calling you? And then they're like, all of it. I don't even know where to start. So, hi, Sarah. So now that you've kind of thought about it, like, where is change calling me? Okay. What's the uncomfortability about it? Why are you afraid? What are you scared of? What is it that your mind keeps telling you about this change? And so, like I said earlier, one of the most common things people say is, I'm not ready. I'll do it when I'm ready. You're never going to be ready for change, okay? That's the mind trying to hold on to the past. And this is where everybody gets caught up, is that we think we're not ready because we want to hold on to what is comfortable instead of starting to take the steps out of it, which is very uncomfortable, okay? Yeah. The unknown, exactly, Christy. It's the unknown that comes with change. Because even if you're miserable where you are, it's still much easier than the unknown, right? Because you know your misery, but you're thinking, oh, what if it's even more miserable? Yeah. And so this is the whole practice in meditation now, is letting go of the fear or the reluctance or the resistance to the change, because change is going to happen regardless if you want it to or not. Hi, April. Good evening. It's going to happen regardless. So you can either move the change in your favor, or you can just keep going around in the hamster wheel. One second. And if you keep going in the hamster wheel, nothing's ever going to change. Nothing's going to ever change. You're going to be stuck in a rut forever. And that's why people resist change. And so with meditation practice, what you can do to help you embrace the change is to allow yourself surrender, to allow yourself acceptance of where you are, and to see the brighter future that's ahead of you. Nicole says, I got excited about a change I made. I have been finally taking steps for my training. Oh, good. I'm slowly getting adjusted to the unknown, just trying to move from the fear-based to trust-based. Exactly. That's beautiful, Sarah. We want to move from fear-based to trust-based. And so That's why all winter long we've been talking about shadow work, because those are the shadows that keep lurking up. So when you're in the middle of a big change, the thing that really happens is that your old self, that shadow self, that fear, that doubt, that confusion, that trauma from the past comes up, and it says, but I like where I am. I'm comfortable where I am. I know what to expect every day. I know that this is not what I want, but it's better than the unknown. Even though it keeps you miserable, even though it keeps you stuck, even though it keeps you confused, even though you know in the long run it's not good for you, but it's more comfortable than the unknown. And that's why most people don't actually change. That's why we stay stuck in our patterns of misery and suffering. Or what a lot of times we do is we delude ourselves. We go into delusional thinking, and then we say, oh no, it's not really that bad. It's not really that way. Oh no, this isn't happening, when in fact it is happening. And so the thing about this time that we're living in is change is knocking very hard for a lot of people. It's starting to blow. The winds of change are blowing. And how do you know that the winds of change are blowing? Is because your life doesn't fit you anymore. Your life is not making you happy. So sometimes when you're being pushed out of a job, everything in that job gets very miserable, uncomfortable. A supervisor changes, new people come in, something comes into that space and place to make you uncomfortable. And it says, things are not how they used to be. So what are we going to do now? It's the same thing with the relationship, health, everything. It's that something comes up that makes you very uncomfortable, makes you very dissatisfied, makes you miserable. And it says, change is here. Now, what you choose to do with that is your choice. Because what it will happen is the first knock, right? The first knock will say, hello, change is here. And you're like, snooze button. I don't want change. Change is annoying. And then, hello, something really happens. Change is here. Hello, look at me. My name is Change. And if you keep pushing the snooze button, the big change comes. And that's what I always say people don't want. That's the thing, like when the universe changes for you, because you already had those other knocks, and then the universe comes with a big 2x4 and says, hello, we told you, we warned you, we brought 1111 all in your face. I have to say, the 1111 is really picking on, because I just saw a commercial for a university, and they kept bringing up the 11, and they're saying change is coming, change is coming, change is coming. And that happens all the time, right? And so you look for the signs and synchronicities to lead you to those changes. And when you can listen and follow, it makes the change much easier. It doesn't make it like, oh, you're going to wake up one day and be ready for the change, because you're never ready. But it'll make it much easier if you just listen and follow your intuition. And this is where the meditation will help. Somebody says, I've already seen signs to change my job. I have plans to get out there. Yeah. Yeah. See, you've been with your current company since 2007. That's a long time. So you're really comfortable there, but you're starting to see the noticing, the change signs are coming. And these next 2 years, a lot of people are going to be changing stuff. Jobs, partnerships, health stuff, location stuff, you name it. All the stuff's going to be changing, because we're in the middle of a big change. Earth stuff's changing, internet stuff's gonna change, politics is gonna change, healthcare is gonna change, food's gonna change, everything's changing. And we have to listen more closely than ever for those changes. and be okay with the letting go of it. You know, that was like the hardest thing for this lady I had a session with that prompted this session, because she just couldn't let go. And I was like, you know, that's the most common theme, is people always tell me that I don't know how to let go. If I could, I would. But it's never a how, it's just an action. It's an action of letting go. So I want you to think about, in your life right now, where are you needing to let go? Is it your stubbornness? Are you stubborn? Is it your control? Is it, you know, the fact that you're scared and you just don't know? You know, when you're in fear, you just freeze. You know, like the rabbit, when the rabbit sees a predator, it just like it just freezes. And a lot of times that's what we do. We just freeze, or we don't know what to do. Are we knowing we need to change, but we just don't want to make the decision to change? Is there a big decision in your life that you have to make that will change something? My YouTube froze. Sorry, guys. Yes, Sarah says, I need to do it before the universe pushes me out. Yeah, thank you for the affirmation. You're welcome. The calling path that aligns with my reading I did for myself. Intuition, balance, and the clever fox. So good. Yeah, because change, if you're on this live and you're watching, change is calling. Now we got to figure out, where am I stuck in the change? What is the decision? And what's the way forward? And you know the way. You know how I've talked about in past lives. Your soul knows the way. Your spirit calls change, and then your soul leads the change. Okay, you have to think of it like that. Your spirit calls it. It says, ding, ding. Anybody getting those ringing in the ears? The ringing is happening. Hello, are you picking up the phone? That's the soul picking up the phone. And then how the soul speaks is through signs and synchronicities. Okay, like the 11 thing. I use that as an example because it's a common example. Or it could be, you know, somebody calling out of the blue, or you might get a message, you know, I need to call so-and-so, see what they're up to. And then they have a message for you. It might be just a thought that comes out of the blue and says, oh, I need to do that, right? Yeah, anytime you're ready, Nicole. Because the change is going to come, but you have to be prepared for it. And I'm going to say, from now until the June solstice is the best time to really plant those seeds of change, because then through the summer months, this is like the most active time when we have the most energy and we're like pumped up and we're ready. And then by fall, you could really see that change. You can really see it manifest. You can really see it and know it and be like, wow, there's that change. And I planted that seed in springtime, because right now is the time you want to be planting these seeds. You want to be making this mind as fertile as possible. You want to be doing your affirmations. You want to be praying, and you want to put as much energy into the soil right now to plant these beautiful seeds of change. And right now, this year is the perfect year to get that direction. Now, the other thing that blocks change is like we get all distracted. Well, this is another thing we need to figure out, is what are your distractions? TikTok? Yeah. Oh, good. You're saying those words. Maybe that's why TikTok might be bland. I don't know. No. But you know, there are certain distractions that are stopping you on your path. It might be, you know, TV. It might be social media. It might be your job. It might be your friends. It might be your kids. I don't know. But where do you find your time goes and it's not productive, and then you want to think about limiting that, if you can. Obviously, if you have kids and stuff, that's hard, but maybe carving out a time in the day so that you definitely have a solid meditation practice. You definitely are getting out into nature. You're taking care of yourself. You're getting the messages, because you have to make the time for the clarity to come in. And then once you have the clarity, you start making a plan, like a direction, that soul will know the plan. It'll say, okay, well, if you want to change your job, maybe you might have to go back to school for that. If you want to change your job, you may have to have more training, or you might have to start updating your resume, or there's actions that are needed. But the first seed to plant is, where am I not comfortable? Where am I ready to change so that I can have a better future? And then make it a goal, like by fall time, I can really start to see those plants growing and manifesting. Because this year we have from March to March to really make the most of it. Because this direction that you're setting right here, right now, is going to be the direction that changes your life, not just for this year, next year, but like the whole life, your whole life. Because we're in a Shochapili time. We're in a time where everything in our world is changing, and this is the beginning of that change. And it's a 52-year cycle. So for most of us who are adults, this is the change that will lead us to our elder years. This is the change. This is the change. And if you're ready to make that change and really ready to make the most of it, then this is the time you want to be working on your meditation and your spiritual development and growth, because that's what's going to help you with this change, right? And I know a lot of people don't want to do the work. That's the unfortunate part about it. That's why in the Tonopuali, the system is not a popular system versus people getting readings and tarot and whatnot, because people are telling you. But in this time, the only thing that you really need to fortify and work on is your intuition. It's in your, in your soul remembering. That's why the whole entire spiritual path is about remembering who you are. That's the whole path. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, and if you want to watch this later, it's on YouTube. But that's the thing. See, the ancestors, they said, this is the path. They laid out incredible pathways. Like, no matter what system you go into, whether it's a Tonopuali, astrology, numerology, tarot, all these paths are really paths of self-transformation. The problem is that we're lazy. Lazy. That's the biggest problem. That's what the Buddhists say, is that we're lazy. And because we're lazy, we have to work hard to stay focused, to stay disciplined, to stay on track. Because if you really want change in your life, and you don't want it to be the 2x4 that hits you in the head, you are going to have some self-discipline, and you're going to have some time to get direction, and then have a plan and go for it, make an action. Because change doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen by just sitting, right? It requires both the spiritual and the material. It requires us to sit down with spirit and say, what is the action? What is the next step? What do I need to do in order to make my life better? And if you have children, there's more of a motivating force there, because I have a family, I have children, I have things to take care of. I have to do this, not just for myself, right? And in this time, the coolest thing about it, with all this change outside of us as well, is that you could take a big leap of faith and oh well, because everything's changing anyway. Everyone's changing. There's so many people changing their lives right now that you could take a big leap of faith and even if it fails or whatever, and you don't get it right away, you can keep trying, you can keep changing, keep reinventing yourself, because, oh, well, the risk is not as big as it used to be, because everything's changing. Everything's changing. And so you can think that way. Like, why not take a risk? Why not take a risk? And I think a lot of things that stop us is just that fear. And so today with the meditation, what I invite you to do is to think about, where is my fear right now? What am I really afraid of? Really, like being really honest with yourself. Because the problem with this type of work, and why people get lazy with it and don't want to do it, is because it does require you to ask the hard questions, like, what am I really afraid of? What is it really? And the first layer will be like money. Oh, it's like that. There's always the first layer. It's like something like that. Well, if I quit my job, I don't have no money. That's obvious, right? But if we go deeper, you're going to find it's not really the money, because, you could get any job anywhere, right? It might be something like, oh, if I quit my job, then, what will my parents think? Or what will society think? Or maybe I won't have that title anymore. Or, there's going to be something deeper. And then if you keep going deeper, you'll find more fear. And then when you start getting to those root fears and you say, oh, okay, that's really what it is. And when it's that, it's because it'll feel different. You'll feel the fear in your body. You'll feel the anxiety. You'll feel it. It'll ring a different way. It'll ring a different way. And then the interesting thing about fear is what we're really afraid of is not the bad stuff. We expect the bad stuff. What we're really afraid of is the light. Actually, this is the funny thing about it. The thing we're usually most afraid of is actually succeeding, is actually being happy, especially if you're somebody who's been stuck in unhappiness. And so this is the deep internal work. And this is why I wanted to talk about change today, because we're in a process of deep transformation right now in our world. In this time, we are in a time of deep transformation. And those of you who are really ready, willing, and able to do the work, you can use this energy, you can use this frequency to make the best decisions, to make the best moves, so that you can use this energy of transformation to fly, to soar, so that by the springtime next year, you see the whole new cycle. You see where your life began and where it ends up. So who's ready for the deep transformation? Are you ready? Do you know what your fears are? Do you know? Hello, Sonia. How are you? Are you ready for the deep transformation? Hi, Simi. Yep. Okay, Simi's ready. Sonia's ready. Nicole's ready. Ready or not? Yes and yes. Good. How about YouTubers? Anybody over there ready? I hope I'm not frozen. Oh, I'll refresh. Working on it. Kelly's working on it. Let's see. Yes. Karen's ready. Oh, good. All right. So we're going to do a meditation now with that. Oh, hello, Nessa. Good to hear, or I don't hear you, but good to see you. Hi, Tara. April's ready. Scared of failure. Yeah, that's the thing. We're scared of failure. But the thing about transformation that I think is interesting, you fear success. We fear failure and we fear success. Sweet 81P is ready. Althea's ready. Hello, Alabama. Let's see. Ready. Sarah's ready. Queen Irby has some good music to listen to. Good. Ready? All right, everybody's ready. You know the thing I had to tell you, because somebody said their fear of failure. You know, the thing is, I've walked probably thousands of people through transformation, because that's usually when you find me, is you're at a crossroads and you're ready for transformation. And the thing about it is that I haven't seen many failures. Like, I have never seen somebody who came to me for a reading, and if we kept going, seeing failure. I've never seen failure. What I have seen is not doing anything. Like, people will be like all pumped up and say, yes, I'm gonna do it, I'm ready, and then they just don't do anything. Okay? That to me is failure. But the people who actually took the advice and did it and did the work and, put the effort in and trusted the universe, and, maybe it didn't happen right away, but it happened. Like, I have seen people go completely in an opposite direction, and from where I met them to where they are now, living their best happy lives. Like, people who were miserable in their lives, like completely miserable. I've seen people who are miserable, like being a doctor. They have these great jobs and they're a doctor, to completely shifting their life into another field, into another calling, into another state. I've seen so many transformations. I've seen people really miserable being single become married. I've seen people go from barely making it to extremely wealthy. I've seen all the transformation. I've seen people in very bad health go to really good health, right? Because they listened and they followed, and that is the success. Even though it took a lot of time, effort, and energy, they succeeded, right? However, what I think the failure is when you just don't even do it, you don't even try, you don't even put anything into it. And then you just stay stuck, and then things get worse, right? And so this is the day. Let's take that first step. Let's take that first initiative. Let's really get ready and then doing it. You can attest. Yeah, not making a choice is still a choice. Exactly. That's a good way to say it. It's usually the first steps that's the scary part for me, but I'm so ready now. Oh, good, sweet 81. Yeah, it's that first step. There's a saying. When you take one step in that direction that you want to go, the universe will take 20,000 steps. So you just have to take the one step. And it, like Sweet Pea was saying, it's the one step that's the hardest to take. That first step. But once you take that first step, 20,000 steps come to meet you. That's the part that we forget, because we think we're doing this all alone. And that's why in the last live, I was talking about the spirit helpers. We have to call in our spirit helpers, because it's a spiritual dance. It's a spiritual material. It's all dancing together. And once we've got that dance, there's nothing that can stop it. Yeah, all alone. You feel all alone. If you go to your friends, your family, and they're all stuck, you're not going to get your support you need. Okay, that's why I always say don't go to your friends and family. Unless you happen to have one of those friends and family that are successful and where you want to be. If you have somebody in your family who's where you want to be, then you want to, say, can you mentor me? Can you help me? I want to start a business. I want to do this. I want to do that, right? But most people don't have that. It's an unfortunate thing. We don't have that. And so we have to rely on the spirit world. We have to ask the spirit world, bring me the people who are going to help me through this transformation. Bring me the teachings, bring me the resources, help me find the way. And how spirit helpers speak is through signs and synchronicity. They don't speak like very loud usually. The spiritual helpers, they don't work that way because they know we have free will, free choice. And so they softly guide and nudge, but we have to be listening and following. And that's the importance of meditation. That's the importance of clearing the mind so that we can hear our spiritual helpers and we can hear our higher knowledge and our intuition. April says, I learned that the hard way with friends and certain family. Yeah. And the funny thing is that the mind really wants those people to be the helpers. You want the people who never believe in you, who think you're crazy, who, are stuck in their own ruts to help us. And unfortunately, they're not the ones that are going to help us. Hey, Rachel. They're not the ones. The ones who are going to help you and encourage you and give you the right directions and this, that, and the other are the people who've done the change themselves, who've walked the walk, the people who've actually taken the leaps of faith, who are doing what they're supposed to be doing, their soul calling, and they are happy for your success. That's the thing, is you want to surround yourself with people who are happy when you succeed and support you when you succeed and can guide you when you succeed, and keep you going, because your mind will get tired too. They talk soft first, but they can hit you with a 2x4 also. Yeah, sometimes. You get the 2x4s in me. Yeah, we all get the 2x4s, but I've learned the way is like, listen before the 2x4 happens, because when the 2x4 happens, it's too late. 2x4 will get you. Yeah. Sometimes, depends on certain spirits, like if you have pushy ancestors or something too. But generally, spirit helpers are gentle nudges, right? Unless it's got to be forceful. But even when it's forceful, you have free will and free choice. And that's the free will, free choice to do nothing. We could do something or we could do nothing. And I think in these times of transformation and change, we all should be actively doing something. Because if we're not actively doing something, we're actively doing nothing. Can we feel our spirit guides? That's a good question, Sonia. As you develop a relationship with your spirit guides, yes. And some people are more sensitive than others. And so you have to learn how your spirit guides connect to you. Some people it's through certain numbers. Some people it's through like objects like pennies or feathers or, different things that have spiritual meaning. Like if you had a grandmother and she loved silver coins and you find silver coins or something like that, that could be an ancestor. Some people hear them. And that's what meditation will help you with, is meditation will help you clear your mind so you can hear yourself clearly. And then when you know yourself, then you can hear, when you hear spirit, you'll know, oh, that's a spirit. And then you will know what kind of spirit it is. Is it a trickster spirit? Is it a nice spirit? Is it a benevolent spirit? Is it an ancestor? That takes time, energy, development, and a gift. But you can always ask your spirit guides to bring you signs, symbols, and synchronicity. So if you practice and you say, I want to know my spirit guide and I want you to send me a hummingbird. Okay. And you're like, okay, be open to the hummingbird symbol and then see how it shows up. When it shows up, it might show up as a picture, it might show up as an actual hummingbird, it might show up as a necklace or something, and then it might be on a person that you need to meet. Say for instance, you say, okay, spirit guides, I need you to send me a message through the messenger of the hummingbird. And then all of a sudden you meet a woman wearing a big hummingbird necklace or something. And you'll be like, whoa, there's a sign for me. And you start talking and then you want to figure it out. You want to say, well, what's the hummingbird about? And then there's your message. See, it's about communication, because spirit helpers don't just barge into your life unless you ask them for help. And that's what we've been talking about in the previous lives, that you have to ask your spirit helpers for help. And that's the difference between real confidence, which is called humility, and then the fake confidence, which is called arrogance. Because when we have real humility, which is real confidence, it means that we know when to ask for help. But when we're arrogant, which is false confidence, we will never ask for help. We're too good for it. And that's why the teachings always say, be humble, be humble. You have a hummingbird tattoo. Thank you, Nicole. Isn't that funny? There's your symbol. So you can ask for those things. And as you get more sensitive, more synchronicities and signs show up. And the thing I'm also hearing is like, that's why the trauma work is so important, because a lot of times when we have trauma, we can't hear spirit. We can't even hear ourselves. Our intuition is so battered and beat up, and it hasn't been listened to, that it like gets pushed down. And the loudest voice is the trauma voice, is that other voice, or trickster voices, is because we're so traumatized. Yeah, I need to learn confidence, not arrogance. Yeah. It's, the thing about it in this society, when I was really thinking about it, is you see more arrogance than confidence. Confidence has a different ring to it. Arrogance is the voice that most people listen to. If you look, just now you're going to see it. Go look around and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see arrogance. And arrogance attracts a lot of people, a lot of attention, a lot of energy, because it has this aura to it and people gravitate towards it. But then eventually you'll be like, oh, that just sounds weird, or it's like something will be off about it. But true confidence doesn't push you. It's not a pushy energy. It's not like, hey, come buy my product, come do this, come do, it has a different feeling to it. It has a different aura. It has a different flavor to it. And that's what we call authenticity. And, that comes from knowing thyself. And that's why the whole teaching is to remember who you are and to know yourself. Because in order to really develop your spiritual growth, your spirituality and your psychic senses and all that, you have to know yourself. And that's what all the ancient teachings from all over the world speak of, is knowing thyself. And knowing thyself is knowing your strengths, and it's also knowing your weaknesses, and it's understanding how to use both, and when to use both, and when to ask for help. One of my clients told me that she could see an aura around me, and I was so bright and calming. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. See, other people will see it too. That's what I mean about confidence, is that other people will see that. You don't have to tell people. People will see it. When you're super arrogant, it's always putting it in your face. Like, I'm this, I'm that. And it's usually material. It's like the fancy car, the fancy lifestyle, the this, the that. You see all those videos. Look at my house, look at my car, look at my this, because it's all on the outside. That's arrogance. But true confidence doesn't have to say that. It doesn't have to show that. It already exudes that. And then people will say, oh my gosh, you have such a beautiful aura. Wow, it's so bright. Wow, it's so calming. When I'm in your energy, I feel good. It's my cat. Kiki, want to say hi? Kiki. This is a confident cat right here. So, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So does anybody have any questions? We're going to do a meditation. Like we said earlier, What is the change that you want right now in your life? Where is change calling you? Your job, your life, your work, your location, your husband, your wife. Right, okay, so let's think about that for a second. And then the second one was, what am I really afraid of? What is it that I'm really afraid of? Like we said earlier, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of just the unknown, fear, fear that you're not going to make it, or fear that you will make it, your past. All right. So we're going to identify where is change calling. And I know everybody always says my whole life. But don't go with my whole life, okay? Because the meditation is going to be focusing on one change. What is one change? So change of job, change of house, change of relationship, change of health, change of anything, change of being judged, right? So people are saying, you said fear of success. I was just talking about that this past week. Yeah, because fear of success is self-sabotage. Being judged, your past haunts you. Used to be not such a great person. Change is calling for my future. For me, it's mostly spiritual. Yes, spiritual change. Yeah, like some people are having a spiritual change. Most of the world is going through a spiritual change right now, actually. Okay, so we have what is changing, where my life is changing, and what am I afraid of. Okay, and then the next thing we want to identify is, what is the first step towards change? Okay, so I want, if you can, get a piece of paper and write those 3 things down. The first thing is where in my life is changing: career, health, love, finances, whatever. The second is, what am I afraid of? What is really going on with me that I'm afraid of? And the third thing is, what is the first step? Okay, those are 3 things we want to identify tonight. And Rachel says, I want change like movement, but my body is like, hey, we need health. Body, I hear you. Yeah, we need health. Exactly. Fear that my messages are my own ego. Oh, interesting. Okay. You too. See, there's a reason we're all together today. It's probably very similar. And see, this is a community, right? Nobody's judging you here. Nobody sees you. So that's why it's a great community, right? Because you could be yourself. When it's your friends and family and people you fear judgment. But when you're in a judgment-free zone, you see that we could be real and we can talk about these things, and you see you're not alone, right? Okay, so everybody got their 3 things. First thing is, where is change calling? What area of my life? Second is, what am I afraid of? And the third is, what is the first step? Now, you might not have the first step, okay, but it'll come. Because once you have those 3 things, it'll make your change much easier. Because now you have clarity, you have direction. And then anything outside of those 3 things is going to be the distraction, right? Because if you're at one area of life that is changing, is like you're saying your health, right? And maybe you want to get in shape or something. And then the second thing you say, okay, what is the fear? Well, the fear is probably maybe getting attention. Maybe it's something around that. Maybe you don't like attention, or as a child, you had a bad experience with that. And then the action obviously would be starting an exercise routine, or starting a diet or something like that, right? Something like that is really simple. If it's changing your job, the first thing might be, okay, my job is changing. What are you afraid of? Oh, well, what if I don't get a new job? Or this is a common one with the job thing, is I don't even know what I want to do. I've been at this job forever. I don't even know what I want to do. Or maybe what I want to do requires, going back to school, or, and I'm too old, or, those things. Those are fears, right? And then the third thing is maybe research. Maybe that's your first step, is just research. This is what I really want to do. And what would it take to do it? What would it take to do it? All right. Oh, good. You have the first step and you asked for help. Oh, good, Kelly. All right. So we're all cleared up. All right. So I'm going to put my candle here and hope that it can be seen. All right. So we're going to light our candle, and then I'm going to do a meditation with everybody. And we're going to do a guided meditation. Oh, my cat does not want to stay for the guided meditation. Let me see. I'm going to put the ohms back on. Okay. Let me get the music. Okay. All right. So are we all ready? Okay. So I've blessed our candle with, let's see. Right oil. Okay, I'm going to do compassion, because we're going to need a lot of compassion for ourselves. Okay. So we're going to do our candle blessing, and then we're going to do the guided meditation. And I'm using Om. Om is the universal song of the universe. It's the most ancient sound in the universe. So, they go Om, Om. So you could do that when you're meditating this week. Chant with Om, because Om is a seed. See, mantras are seeds. They're sounds that we put out into the universe that respond to our frequency and our energy and our call. So when you're meditating with Om, it's like you're singing to the universe your song. And you're saying, universe, help me to manifest this into my life. And Om is the most ancient sound in the universe. Okay, so I want you to think about compassion. This is compassion for yourself and your shift, your change. Whatever this change brings for you, you have to have compassion for yourself. Okay. I've also put some road opener so that everybody watching this, your road will open, your blessings will come. You will start to see a new road emerge. Now, I also want to say, sometimes with these blessings like this, what will happen is this old road will start to really collapse. Okay, so don't be afraid of that, because remember, we've already identified the fear. So when it comes up, you can have the strength and courage and compassion to move forward in your life. You won't go back into the fear mindset. Okay. All right. So let's take a moment. Let's focus. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out. And I want you to think about, what is it in your life right now that you're ready to change? And as I light the candle, we're going to go into our meditation. So you close your eyes. And really now we're going to start to remove the blockages and fear around change. Okay, so just focus now. Okay. So breathing in and out. I'm getting really comfortable. Sorry. Breathe on the candle. All right, so let's breathe in and out. And I want want you to notice in your body if there's any places of uncomfortability, whether it's your neck, your shoulders, your legs, your feet. Wherever in your body feels uncomfortable, breathing into that space, feeling the Om going into that place and space and clearing the uncomfortableness in your body. And if you need to, you can shake or stretch or move around, but feel into your body any place or space that feels stiff or uncomfortable. And feel the lightness when you breathe in and out. So you're going to breathe in and out. And as you breathe in and out, whether you see, sense, or know, there is a white light coming down from the center of the room, and it's hitting the top of your head, and it's clearing away any and all doubts, fears, uncertainties, traumas of the past. Whatever is blocking your path, this white light is now clearing. We remove, we dissolve, and we clear all the old heavy energies that are standing in the way of your path. So just take a moment and feel that white light coming down through the center of the room, hitting the top of your head, and it's like warm water just pouring down your body, clearing and releasing the heaviness around your aura, and breathing in and out. And as you breathe in and out, we're now going to focus on the road. Now, whether you see, sense, or know, see your life, see your path, see the road that you are currently on. Just take a moment, and if you can, visualize, what does this road look like? Is it smooth and clear? Is it rocky and sharp? Is it broken? Is it straight? Is there a hill? Just take a moment and really see your path. And imagine yourself walking on your path. And with every step you're walking, you see your road getting more confident, clear, feeling more beauty as you keep walking on this road. And if you look ahead, you see your road is now changing, evolving, growing, expanding. And you can see the difference between the old road and the new road. And maybe you even start running towards your new road. Some of you may even fly. But everything is in your own timing and your own soul path. So just be happy where your road is. But as you continue to walk this road and you see your new road, you're going to ask your spirit now, what is the first step towards this new road? And just take a moment now and connect. And in your mind and your heart, accept the answer and give gratitude and thanks. And hold on to that action. Hold on to the guidance. As you take another nice deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And take a nice deep breath in and out. And if you have a pen and paper, write down that action step. And if you need to do the meditation again, it is on my YouTube channel, SongBirdGrandMother, and you just click on the live section. So if you're new to the live and you didn't get a chance to do the meditation, you can watch afterwards on YouTube. So how was the meditation? What did you experience? This candle's kind of in my way. Hello. Hello, Blissful Oracle. Thanks for the rose. So is everybody coming back now? And really, it's going to be for the next couple days, you're going to start feeling this. The more you can meditate with that new road, feel the new road, experience it, think about those 3 things that we talked about today. The action you needed to take was I saw was a sleeping bear. Interesting. You might need to rest. You might need to meditate more. You know, the thing about a bear is that the bear spends half of its year in hibernation, which is dreaming a new dream. And then when they come out, they're like full force in spring, right? You got interrupted. You're going to have to watch again on YouTube. Yeah, that's good. I was able to visualize the road well, but was driving, not walking. Couldn't see the car. Well, that's good though, because then it means like you're driving. You're not walking, you're not running, you're cruising. You're cruising in your car on the road, but you didn't have to see the car. Let's see. I saw myself walking on a road into the desert mountains. That's awesome. So maybe the desert mountains are calling you. Maybe a new scenery. You know, think about the desert mountains. What's there? It was awesome as I was experiencing things. You were saying them. Picture your path. Is it rocky? How did you know? Next step, flying. Oh, great. You were able to... Hello, Gypsy. So, you know, everything that you experienced, and some of you are more visual, some of you are more like hearing wise, you know, you auditory, some of you are more feeling and knowing. Everybody's a little different, right? And everybody's road is different. So I encourage you to write it down, whatever you experienced. If you weren't able to do the meditation, you could go on my YouTube channel and watch it again and do the meditation again. And I encourage you to keep doing it like daily as you're going through this change. But the most important thing about it is to see what that new road looks like and feels like and maybe sounds like, tastes like, you know, depending on your sense. And what is the first step needed? What is that first step to get on that road? Yeah, Christy, meditation has been coming up for you a lot. You're a sleeping bear. You know, the thing about bear medicine and people who work with the bear medicine is that you spend half your life in meditation, right? So half your life is sleeping. You probably have really profound dreams. And then the other half is in extreme action, because the bear eats like half the year, right? Let's see. Sweet Pea says, I was walking on a country rocky road and instantly saw a smooth road, but it was sandy, like the orangish, reddish dirt in desert places. Interesting. Sounds kind of like Sedona sand. You do? Yeah, that makes sense because you're a bear person. And some of you may have seen, animal spirits, spirit guides. The more you do this meditation, the more you'll get stuff about your change and transformation. Oh, nice. You saw all the flowers? Well, the flowers represents the blossoming, right? The enlightenment, the process of evolving and expanding. So it's really good to see flowers. And the desert is spiritual, right? Most of the most profound things happen in the desert. When you're looking for a spiritual change, you go to the desert. Let's see if I can move that. Turned into a bridge at one point. A bridge is good because the bridge goes from the old to the new. A bridge goes from, your old life to your new life. And it could also mean that you yourself are a bridge. Maybe that's the work you're meant to do in this life. So also think about, what is your change? Is it job? Is it relationship? Is it health? Is it, what other things? Whatever else. Location, right? Depending on what your specific intention was. The answer is in what you saw, felt, or sensed. A man and a woman were sitting at the end of the road telling me to come on, and two huskies dogs, so dog has a specific energy, ran past me out of nowhere towards those people. So maybe there are two people who are going to come in at some point in your life or something like that. I would meditate more about that and look at what was the thing you're changing in your life, and then, what was the fear, and then how does that vision and meditation fit in. And look at our candle. I don't know if you guys can see it, but sorry, YouTube, the candle is like right on my face. Let me see. That changed it. Now our candle is starting to really take off. It's like our road is expanding. Let's see. What about being on a mountain path, like forestry, then open with flowers? Yeah, the flowers is the blooming and the enlightenment. The mountain is spiritual. But it depends too, like, what kind of path was it? Was it straight? Was it rocky? Was it curved? Was it, snowy? Think about those things too. the candle is flickering big time, yeah. Let's see something. Let's see. Yeah, a forest is also spiritual. You couldn't run but kept walking slowly, and when you reached the people, you cried, and the woman told me to release her. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty big. So that means like you're healing. So those people you met were probably guides. Like the dogs and the man and the woman. Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely go back into meditation, Sweet Pea. I think you'll see a lot more. It was hard, rocky, and curvy, then opened. Yeah, see, right now, that's a good example right now. It was rocky, hard, rocky, and curvy. So that's the current path you're on, is hard, rocky, and curvy. And then it opened. So the new road is open, grassy, flowery, right? That's what you're looking for. That's what you're creating. That's it. Now the next step is going to be what is the step you need to take to get you into the grassy, flowery, open space. You were walking and then started running and then turned into an eagle and flew. Well, that's awesome because it means that you're going to go far when you're ready. Let's see. Let me come to TikTok. You see. Okay, the bridge. Your road led from an open country road to a brick road full of abundant lush plants and a house. Oh, beautiful. So was your intention about location or where you live? I just saw your invitation. And my road went from 2-lane highway to a golden road going down through valley and over mountains. Isn't that amazing? That's really nice. That's the golden road is really good. It's abundance, right? Yeah, it's thank you, Nicole. My person was standing next to me in a meadow. Aw, ain't that cool? Did you see that, Sonia? Confirmation. Yeah, I was happy to be there, and she was like pointing to show me how beautiful the new road and place was. Everything I wanted in a house or environment. Wow. So what yeah, Sweet Pea, I definitely recommend everybody after this live write down everything you experienced if you already haven't. The candle's going crazy. And know that the spirit world is blessing you. And the second thing is, if you can, go back. If you haven't watched this, go watch the YouTube live on my YouTube channel and do the meditation again. And if you remember the meditation, just do it on your own, okay? Because the meditation is pretty straightforward. We started with the white light coming, so we cleanse everything. Cleanse it. You can take more time. If you can, find the Om chant online and just meditate with Om. Cleanse everything. Clean out your whole aura. Then the next thing is you want to picture the road you're on. What does it look like right now? Is it rocky? Is it nice? Is it smooth? Is it whatever? And then see the new road. And then after you see the new road, you're going to ask, what is the first step to get on that road? Okay. It was quiet looking at the rocks. Lift your head up and see all around you. Yes. Quit looking at the rocks. Okay. Yeah. See, everybody got something. Let me see. I'm trying to move this a little. All right. Is there any other questions or comments? Oh, you're welcome, Sweet Pea. Keep in touch. Let me know how it goes. Yeah. And if anybody else wants to go deeper into this new change, this new transformation, then you can definitely reach out and schedule an appointment. Oh, good, Cammie. Yeah. Oh, you didn't miss it. The thing about the lives is you can always watch them again. So that's the cool thing. And right now, I will be on every Monday for Meditation Monday. We'll do something different every Monday. Oh, you're welcome, Sonia. And look at this candle. It's really taken off. So for everybody who was on today, just know that the spirit world is blessing your new road. Keep going. Take that first step. Listen. And keep meditating. Okay? Thank you so much. And I want to wish you all the best. You're so welcome, April. And I will announce whenever I'm on next time, but for sure I'll be on next Monday. If I can squeeze in some more lives in this week, I will. But otherwise, we'll be here every Monday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, awesome moderator Nicole. And for everybody joining us, many blessings. You're welcome. Bye, everybody.